Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Snyder at Opp Family Chiropractic, and spring is here, so that means allergy season is starting. So allergies are just symptoms of an overactive immune response. So your body sees all of these totally harmless substances coming into your body, and it overreacts to them, and it sees them as dangerous. So this stimulates an immune response, which is releasing antibodies from your system, which also trigger mast cells to release histamines, which are inflammatory substances in our body. So symptoms of histamines coming active in our body are inflammation, sneezing, rashes, hives, itchiness, and digestive issues. Don't worry, there are lots of ways to manage allergy symptoms. I can tell you from experience, I've had terrible allergies since college. So all of these guys here are our friends. My favorite way to manage my allergies is through supplementation. My favorite is the Pro. So it's got a lot of really good ingredients in it to help combat that inflammation coming from the histamines. So number one being stinging nettle. It's kind of weird that you are kind of allergic to plants and like the outdoors, but you have to consume one to reduce your histamine production. So I like that stinging nettle is in here. Also vitamin C. So there is vitamin C in Pro, but not enough to actually make an impact in my opinion. Studies show that 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams a day is ideal to break down histamine, but there's not quite that much in the Pro. So I recommend doing both just to get a really good amount in there. Also in the Pro, we have bromelain, which decreases inflammation, and quercetin, which is a flavonoid antioxidant, and antihistamine, which combats the sneezing, congestion, and the watery eyes. There's also NAC in here, but again, not enough in my opinion. So I like to supplement with additional NAC because that is a natural antioxidant and mucus thinner. So if you're really congested, you can throw a couple of these into the mix to support the Pro and really get ahead of the allergy symptoms. Now, some people get histamine production from dietary changes. So another thing we have to do is change the way we eat. So one of the most common histamine producing foods is alcohol and wine, cured meats, cheese, and fermented foods like sauerkraut and kimchi. So reducing those fermented foods and some of those alcohols will really help. I know, kind of a drag, but yeah, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to combat some of these histamine problems. So we focus on gut repair because if we're eating those histamines, so like if you're going to do it anyway, or if you do it imbibe occasionally, we want to improve the integrity of our GI tract. So this is L-glutamine, which is an essential amino acid, and the demand of our body for this increases with stress or prolonged physical activity or intense exercise. So we're going to have more inflammation with those things, and our body is not going to be able to process those histamines, and this will really help with that. So this is just a powder that you can add to a drink or a smoothie. It supports a healthy GI tract and it combats dietary histamines. So the last thing I like to do is add probiotics. So the Akkermansia and the Adult ENT Pro, these are both really good ones. The Akkermansia particularly thickens the mucosal barrier and improves histamine intolerance, while the Adult ENT Pro is really good for when you have really stubborn sinus congestion. And let's say you've tried antibiotics, it just totally kills your gut microbiome. So we have to replenish that with probiotics. So if you have a really stubborn sinus infection, the Adult ENT Pro has been really helpful for my patients. So these are the two I really like. So don't worry going into the spring season. We have lots of products and advice for you. So just reach out to us if you need help. Again, spring is coming and we've got the tools to combat the spring allergies. So let us know if you need help and have a wonderful spring.